Harambee! Neno hili si hivyo. Mambo ni matatu.
Ladies and gentlemen, ODM party is collapsing. And if Raila Odinga is not careful, then 2027 is actually going to mark the end of ODM party. I'm saying this because an MCA aspirant who had been issued with an ODM ticket went back to the ground with that ticket. The ground became hostile and he had to dump that ticket.
Nimeona kwa mitandao mbalimbali ikisemekana kwamba Ayaya amehama katika chama cha DAP-K kwenda ODM. Nataka niwaambie hii habari ni ukweli, imekuwa ni kama uvumi, lakini mimi chama changu ni cha DAP-K. Hebu semeni DAP-K.
DAP-K.
Na ukisema DAP-K ni mwamko mpya. DAP-K
mwamko mpya.
Kwa hivyo nataka niwaambie wakazi wa Kisa East, mko na kijana ambaye amesimama imara na kuna msimamo wake, na sitaki kuonyesha kwamba na yumba kwa vyama ama na yumba ili pia.
And interestingly, the ground is in one of the ODM strongholds, Kakamega County. And the question is, why would an aspirant dump ODM party ticket? Ladies and gentlemen, I want us to analyze that shocking development. At the same time, Omondi Karoli also delivered some shocking information earlier today. Listening to Karoli dropping the bombshell.
ODM today is not what it was 20 years ago. When we formed ODM and we first went to elections in 2007, in a parliament of 2010 members, ODM won 96 seats on its own. Then we had another 9 affiliates. By 2013, in a parliament of 290, we were down to, I think, 87. We have gone down further. So we are not what the strength that we once were. And let's not pretend. The idea of broad-based has brought a lot of schism in the party. There are 2 different schools of thought about it. So let's not pretend. We cannot lie to people. Our supporters are not children. Yeah, let's just be honest with them. There's a group that does not support the idea of engaging with the president. You remember they held rallies against us as a whole. Then they split. And then there's a group that supports that. If you saw what happened in Kisii, the jamboree that ODM had in Kisii, there was not a single elected member of parliament on ODM in Kisii or in Nyamira that attended that function. That should tell you something. We have 3 by-elections in Kisii, ward by-elections. Nobody picked the ODM ticket. Nobody went to pick it. If you go to Kakamega, these are our strongholds. Nobody picked the ODM ticket in Malava. Let's not pretend. I don't like pretending. Yeah? If you go to a meet, if you remember a meeting that our party leader held in Kakamega a few months ago, of the 12 MPs, only 3 attended, elected on ODM. So as we celebrate, let us do an introspection and say we are no longer what we were once. There's a problem somewhere.
In this video, I want us to analyze why ODM party is no longer attractive to aspirants. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or 2, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. And ladies and gentlemen, for this particular video, I want to make a request to you. If you watched it up to this stage, please just press that thumbs up button right away. And the league gang, you can drop your comment and share. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to go straight to the point. Number 1, the ODM party's move, or Raila Odinga's move, to enter into the broad-based government can actually be attributed to the problems currently facing ODM party. The truth of the matter is that as much as Raila Odinga has helped William Ruto to stabilize his government, the effect is being felt in ODM party.
He gets upset when I remind him what the MOU said. You know, they wanted a document that they could then go and, run a PR campaign around and say, oh, tumeungana, we are together. That is not what this document says. This document does not establish a coalition agreement between ODM and UDA. But that's the impression they've been creating. They go out there and say, and I had warned that the PR disaster that was going to come from this was going to be something that was going to be very difficult to manage.
2022 presidential election was bitterly contested. ODM supporters were very angry in 2022. They were very bitter. That is the truth. And when Raila Odinga emerged, because they had believed that Raila Odinga was going to win. So when Raila Odinga lost, they told Baba, Wewe, just leave this guy's mess up and let us try another day. Baba from nowhere entered into that handshake. So they did not process the fact that they were bitter. They did not process that Raila Odinga could betray them in court. So Raila Odinga moved with a broad-based government. The supporters were left there. And to make matters worse, the elected leaders in ODM party have not really performed to the level they were expected. So the unpopularity is as a result of the broad-based government. That's number one. Number two, if you look at it critically, most of ODM governors have not performed. They've disappointed their followers. They've disappointed those who voted for them. I want to challenge you, and let me know in the comment section, your governor and the county. I'm very specific about ODM governors. Let me know if your governor is ODM and the county, and tell me if you believe the governor is performing. Most of these governors have not really performed. And because of that, even the MPs who are elected on ODM party, most of them have not performed. So the ground is very hostile to most of them. People don't want to see them. This guy was at Orange House with the governor. The ground is not pro-governor in that particular area, per se. So that can be attributed to that. Number three, and I want now to talk specifically about this particular word. I can attribute this to factions within ODM party. Baraza fronted this guy. He's actually the popular guy. But the guy who now persuaded this gentleman to pull out of ODM is none other than the deputy party leader, former, who is now a cabinet secretary, Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya. Oparanya is fighting with Baraza. If Baraza were to win this seat for ODM party, that was going to send a very strong statement ahead of 2027. That is something Oparanya is not comfortable with. So Oparanya reached out to the member of parliament, who allegedly was the one who was funding this guy. And that member of parliament for Quisero is not seeing eye to eye with the governor. So they're in the same group. So because of that war, the candidate had to pull out.
Kama iko mtu ambaye amechoka ndani ya chama cha ODM, asikuje kutusumbua. If you are tired with the ODM party, usikuje kutokoroga ndani, wewe chukua barabara uende. We are better leaders who can lead this party. Kama tumefanya uchaguzi wa Vihiga ulikuwa sawa. Uchaguzi wa Bungoma ulikuwa sawa. Uchaguzi wa Trans Nzoia ulikuwa sawa. Hata Kakamega ingekuwa sawa lakini iko watu wengine ambao wanataka tu kuleta mgogoro.
Number 4, and this is something I don't know how they are going to deal with it. Raila Odinga will not be on the ballot from all indications in 2027. ODM party has always revolved around who? Around Raila Odinga. Since I started joining ODM, since I started following ODM, the person I've always known has always been none other than Raila Odinga. I remember when I was still young, I would go to those rallies, watch Raila and the team. Raila was still in Ford, Kenya, so I started following Raila at that time. When ODM was formed, automatically I joined. My dream as a young man at that time was to one day be able to sit or participate in ODM activities on the same table with Raila Odinga. In fact, I remember in 2013, we were so sure that Raila Odinga was going to be the president. That time, new constitution had been promulgated in 2010. Then Kenyans went to election with a new constitution. I remember that time I was even offered nomination slot because we were actively involved in ODM activities, youth league, to county assembly. We rejected, me and another lady, we rejected because we were sure that Raila Odinga was going to go to State House. Now, Raila Odinga will not be running for the presidency. That is something which is very clear. What do you think can now attract young people like this gentleman to ODM party? Nothing. Nothing. And number 5, I think it's about the 2027 politics and the emerging political realignments, which are definitely going to take shape. In Luhya Nation, a political party by the name DAP-K, headed by George Natembeya, is the party to watch. I'm saying this because this guy dumped ODM party. He went to DAP-K. In Malava constituency, there's a by-election. There's UDA, there's DAP party, DAP-K party. There's no ODM. So DAP-K is now being perceived as the ultimate party for the Luhya Nation. Because ANC party is dead. ODM party is limping. Ford Kenya is based in Bungoma, Bukusu. So I'm looking at the 2027 politics. I don't know what you think, but I think ODM party is dying if they are not careful. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.